Hi everyone, this is Shannon Shy. Welcome to another installment of Q&A with Shannon about OCD recovery. Thank you everyone for the questions. I'm sorry for the get up today. I'm going to a ceremony when I'm done with this video. I didn't choose to dress like this for my video. Today's question comes from Anonymous. How open were you with people about your OCD diagnosis or treatment? I am thinking of registering and fundraising for the OCD walk this summer and was debating whether to fundraise publicly or not, trying to balance bringing awareness and advocacy for OCD treatment with my concern of judgment from others, particularly in my field of work. Any advice or guidance would be appreciated. Your video series has been great. Anonymous. So thank you, Anonymous, for the compliment and the question. It's a good question. And my response might surprise some people. Uh, it isn't going to be all rah rah, screw everybody else. It doesn't matter what they think. I take a more prudent approach on this. Uh, my own little story. I was diagnosed in 1997 while I was in the Marine Corps on active duty. Fortunately, I wasn't found unfit for duty, but I was pretty sick. Um, and I got better. I do understand that OCD is still a disqualifying condition for entry into the armed forces. After my diagnosis, I started telling everyone who knew me. I think partly out of some defense mechanism to explain all of my odd, quirky behaviors. Right? Hey, there's a medical reason why I've been doing this, everyone. Uh, so I told a friend of mine who's a fellow major, I said, I'm going to go tell the commanding general and the chief of staff. And he went, whoa, wait a minute. Um, he goes, they're not going to know what to do with that information. And by the way, it's none of their GD business. He said, you need to just focus on what the doctors are telling you to do and get better. So I heeded that advice. I stopped telling people, right? I just wanted the old Shannon back. And as I got better, truly, I didn't want to have anything to do with OCD. I didn't want to be identified as the guy with OCD. I didn't want everyone to say, oh, Shannon OCD, Shannon OCD. I didn't want that. I just wanted me back. So I moved to work at the Pentagon. No one knew except the doctors I was seeing at Bethesda. That all changed in 2006. I was having dinner with a colleague who knew me pretty well. And she told me, she confided, she said, I've got this thing called OCD and it's killing me. I took a deep breath and I was like, God. I said, all right, well, there's something that you don't know about me. I told her my story and my OCD recovery journey. She wrote me about 6 months later and said, you've changed my life. She said, you really need to tell this story publicly. So I decided to write my first book, which came out in 2009. I got involved with the International OCD Foundation, became a public advocate, and the rest is history. So, first, there is nothing shameful about having OCD. If you feel any shame, don't, right? You didn't do anything to earn or ask for this disorder. You have it. You don't need to be ashamed about that. Your job is to recover, right? It's a treatable disorder. Secondly, I believe that public advocacy is really important. The more information that is put out about OCD, the more stigma will be reduced. I believe that. And you only have to go on the internet and put in the acronym OCD, and you'll get miles and miles and miles and miles of people talking about OCD. My point there is, it isn't your personal responsibility to have to save the world. So choosing to go public with your diagnosis is a personal decision. And there are some things that I think you should consider. First, focus on your own recovery first. I have people who ask me all the time, should I go public? I want to get involved in peer support. How do I do that? And I say, focus on your own recovery. That is your priority. All good things will follow. And on the public disclosure issue, there's plenty of time. There will be plenty of time for you to go public if you so choose. Second, don't feel pressured to go public. If somebody comes out on the internet or if it's a friend that says, you have to do this, there are too many people suffering, you have to do this. No, you don't. If you decide to, awesome, but you don't have to, right? You don't have to. Third, this is the tough one. Consider whether or not there may be ramifications from your employment. You should know what their policies are before you go out. And, whether you have legal recourse if they take adverse action or regardless of the moral stance of them potentially taking action, why invite that chaos into your life if you don't have to at this point, right? And fourth, if you decide to go public, don't sweat the small stuff. Meaning, most people, probably 99.9% of the people and the public will say, no big deal, right? A lot of people have OCD. We support you. But as we all know, there are a few uneducated, ignorant, inconsiderate people out there who throw around the word OCD like it means nothing. And it can be hurtful when you hear it. I chose to not take on every one of those battles. I let things slide unless something was really over the top. Part of that was for my own sanity. Part of it was if I spent my time correcting all of the idiots out there, I probably would have time for nothing else. So, fortunately, there's a lot of information now that's trying to educate the public, but you're not going to get the message across to everyone. So don't sweat the small stuff, right? Hopefully, this has been helpful to you. It may not be as rah-rah as some people would like, but I do believe taking a prudent approach is always advisable. So have a great day.